Well, good morning to everybody. Oh boy. We're just taking a short ride into Antigua today. I've got some errands to run. So, why not do the video? Also gotta get gas. Which is the most boring part of everything. And it sucks. Because it costs money, and that's never fun to spend. There we go. Don't stop now. Now this is a Suzuki V-Strom. And it is 600cc engine. I'm sorry, 650cc engine. And the thing weighs just about 500 pounds, which is a lot. Especially if, for example, you're used to riding on a sport bike like a Ninja or something like that. It's gonna seem like it weighs 1,000,000 pounds, and it does, but whatever. Weighs 1,000,000 pounds. Oh, come on, this gear thing. Just really annoying. Alright, let's go. Let's have our little adventure this morning. And this is where I have to cut in with audio, because unfortunately the Contour ROAM3 does not have external recording capabilities. So from now on, this is basically me in my bedroom talking to you about the motorcycle. And we've been, my wife and I have been living in Antigua, well, close to Antigua for a couple of months now, about 3.5 months now, and it's in Guatemala. We really like it. It's nice. The streets are not the best for riding motorcycles, and so I guess if there's one thing that's good about the V-Strom, it would be the fact that it is meant for tricky roads like the kind that you find in Guatemala. Now, as far as getting on the highway like we are right now, it's got enough power. I mean, it's a 650cc engine, which is the same engine actually that's in the Suzuki SV650, which is one of my favorite bikes to ride. Let's pass him. But you know, it's got enough power where you can pass people on the highway, and on a road like this, you know, it's fine, it's comfortable, and that's the thing, it's comfortable. But you're really not going to get the same thrill that you will from, say, a Ninja or the SV or, you know, a Yamaha, because those are meant for you know, going quick on roads that are comfortable, like the one that I'm on right now. And so this, which is meant for, you know, adventures and going off-road and exploring the world, well, it can get a little bit boring. I'm going to stop here for gas. which is another example, because you can see the cobblestone I'm on. A great example of what this is good for.
Buenos días. Super, porfa. Y lleno. Lleno. Sí, porfa.
Now, another thing that's good about this bike is... Lost my train of thought there. Mesmerized by the gas. Another thing that I guess I'm going to change my thought here. Another thing I'm not a fan of is the height of the bike. You are incredibly high up. If you put this thing next to like a Shadow, for example, Honda Shadow, or any other cruiser, you're a mile and a half off the ground.
Very nice. She's fine.
So that's not the best. Could have been better. I am short, I guess. I'm 5'9", and I have just an impossible time backing this thing up sometimes.
Gracias.
I'm basically on tiptoes, so that's a demerit for this bike. But really, I mean, it's... For those people...
Gracias.
For those people who do like to go on adventures, do like to take this thing on rougher terrain, I mean, it's a great bike. It really is, and it does have a lot of power. One of the nice things about the one I'm on is it's got a box on the back, which you might have seen when I did the walk. Well, I didn't really do a walk around, so I apologize for that, but that's actually nice. It's practical for this scenario where I'm here heading into town to run some errands. So it is nice for that. And it's, again, I'll reiterate, it's comfortable. I mean, you will be very comfortable on this bike. Good suspension. Rear wheel, I mean, you can look at it, it's all terrain, which is different from a sport bike. And I mean, that makes sense. It's a dual purpose bike, so. Another feature that I didn't like at first, but now I really admire about this bike is that it has a safety feature, which is that the kickstand, whenever it is down or deployed, this thing, if you try and put it in gear, it shuts off. Now, maybe it's just because I'm a noob at life sometimes, but I've had instances, for example, we had a Honda 125cc, which was, one of the little bikes that people use routinely down here. I had several instances where I set off with the kickstand down because I just wasn't thinking until it scraped the pavement and it scared me half to death. So, when I found out about the safety feature, it wasn't the best because I was trying to park the bike. I had the kickstand down, and every time I tried to put it into gear, it shut off. Really annoying. Kind of ruined my mood for the moment. And I called the guy who owns the bike, and he said, well, there's a safety feature to keep you from pulling away with the kickstand down. So the 20 minutes I spent in the rain trying to park the thing, well, I did that so you don't have to if you decide to get one of these bikes. But it's nice living in Guatemala. For people who like speed, it's a really great place to be because they don't run radar. And that was something I didn't really realize until I moved down here, and that's been nice. It's a good feature of this country, you could say. Now, one thing that I mentioned coming up while I'm actually on the bike, and you may be able to hear it, is
It does affect the steering, the weight of this thing. It's not that stable at low speed.
I'm talking.
High speed, yeah, you're good, but low speed on roads like this is terrible. Oh. I mean, it's manageable, clearly, but it's terrible.
You know, what I'm talking about there is something I was going to bring up, and it's the weight. Now, the weight of this bike, you know, for someone who, like me, now I'm just complaining about the fact that they sometimes they shut down certain parking areas, so that really is annoying. But you know, this thing is, because of the weight, because of the height, at low speeds, it is a wobbly son of a gun. You know, I don't feel stable on it at all. You oftentimes at low speeds have to put a foot out or both to keep from toppling over, because it is, like I said, it's a high bike and the weight is all at the top, so it's top heavy, and at low speeds on roads like the one I'm on right now, which is ironic because it's built to be dual purpose, you know, for some off-road stuff and adventure, but I you know, and I may just be a noob at life yet again, but I have trouble with it sometimes. And that's probably been one of my biggest complaints about this bike, is that it can be tough to maneuver at low speeds, and that's not always a good thing. So now, I think I fail at parking about 8 times right here, but that's okay. We all do it sometimes. Not as bad as the person who failed at parking when I left from doing my errands, which I'm sure we'll get to see their handiwork here in a minute. So when I come back, we'll finish up this review and on the way home.
Well, that didn't go how I wanted it. Oh my fucking...
So anyway, that was fun. I didn't get everything done that I wanted to get done, and some clown parked about 3 atoms away from my bike, and I couldn't get it out for, well, at least until a kind gentleman came along and helped me. But anyway, basically, we're gonna wrap this up. Overall, the V-Strom is a good, solid bike. Definitely not for the sporty at heart, but it's a good alternative to a cruiser, I think. If you're accustomed to riding sports bikes, this is definitely a good cruiser for you. Pros: good torque, good power, idiot. And then cons for me: size and weight. So But overall, a great bike. Hope you guys have enjoyed watching. Catch us back next time, and we'll see what we'll be on testing out in the future. See you guys.